All right, welcome back to another session with them Dennis boys here on this Whiskey Wednesday. And we're gonna chop it up about this last game we just experienced against these Eagles, man, 23-28. It was good. It was a good game overall. Saw a lot of good things. Saw a lot of things that need to be corrected. Um, but for the most part, man, the boys fought. Dak had a good game, man. 374 yards, no turnovers. No turnovers. It's big. But you gentlemen, I'm B.
Debo.
EJ.
The Cowboy politician.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. Let's dive into this game, man. Who want to dive into it first and give their spiel about it?
Go ahead, politician.
All right, let me kick it off. Well, I came on here last week and gave Dak lots of hell, and I can nitpick this week, but rightfully so. I can nitpick this week. There's some couple boneheaded mistakes, in my opinion. We can get into that in a little bit more detail. But overall, the way I look at it, Dak played a phenomenal game overall. I think he passed for more than 400 yards, or close to 400 yards.
374.
No interceptions, which I'm proud of. 374. So he protected the ball. He got CD the ball. I was really proud of that. I think that's the play. That's the way to do it. He tried to get the ball out to Pollard. So I thought that was good too. We just came up short on the end of things. Some of that is what I say some ref-induced things, and then also you got to be able to stay in bounds. You can't take a lazy approach to the end zone on that 2-point conversion.
He did ease
he
up.
was
He eased up.
Untouched, and you don't step out of bounds when you're untouched. And then the scheme that McCarthy had was good. I think the passing game is starting to mature. I'm happy with it. The run game, I did see some explosiveness out of the run game. One of the biggest runs we had from in the game got called back on a 3rd and 8. That was a big deal to get called back on a ticky-tack holding call by the tight end. Overall, I think the game did play well. If I had to play that game again, I'd play that same game again. I think we won 2 plays away from winning that game. The only thing I would probably change overall in terms of that crunch time, that those last couple minutes, is I think they could have went a little faster. But I understand the strategy. They was going to go into the end zone, and they didn't care about getting that ball back. They said they just want to get that touchdown. But I look at that as you go fast, you make a mistake, you get the ball back, trust your defense. You know that's the strength of your team, and if you don't get it, the Eagles aren't going to start passing the ball. So you knew they were going to run the ball no matter what. So go fast, try to get it in, and we would have been able to kick that field goal, got that ball back again, kick another field goal. We would have been in a different situation because we would have been up 1. So I just think game management, I'm sure they're using some analytics. My analytics in my brain just made it operate a little differently. So that's my quick to the game. Defense played all right. Let me just say this: 3 forced fumbles. We just didn't recover them, and I think that's the tale of the game, right? You get 3 fumbles on the Eagles, and they're a fumble-prone team, and you don't recover any of them. If you recover one of those, the game's a whole different game. So I think that's another point that probably I haven't heard anybody talk about in great detail is those 3 turnovers that we didn't take. So that means the defense played their thing. So I know we'll talk a little bit more about the defense, but they forced 3 fumbles, and that's period. So
Go ahead, Dad.
Well, it's easy when the game is over at the end of the day to play Monday morning quarterback, and that's basically what you do after any game is over. I personally thought that was a very good game. Could have been a little cleaner in terms of what the Cowboys did, of course, but then it's always going to be that same scenario where it could always be a little more cleaner. The luck just didn't go our way, and that in terms of what the politician just mentioned in terms of the turnovers. I mean, what are the chances of you forcing that many fumbles and not getting at least one of those? The situation with Dak ran out of bounds. I just don't think he was focused on where he was at on the field, and it was a mistake. these things happen. But I applaud the gumption of the coach to at least try that 2-point conversion in that. So many times we've gotten on our coaches about not being aggressive enough, not taking the chances. One thing I do like this year is we're taking more chances, and in many cases, it's paying off for us. Because if you're going to be that level or that caliber team that's going to challenge for the big ones, you've got to take chances and you've got to show confidence in your team. I was pleased with Dak's play. Uh, yes, he's made a couple mistakes, but then who doesn't? Clean those things up, and it's a different ball game. Get those fumbles, it's a different ball game. The officials have a better line of sight, or at least call what they see instead of what they think they see. It's a different game. Defensively, we did a great job. We could have done a better job in terms of certain things we did. But I was overall pleased with the defensive play. The offensive line, they had their moments, both good and bad. But then at the end of the day, when you see 374 yards passing, you know they had to be doing something out there in order for that to occur. Rushing yardage, yes, we'd like to have a little bit more, but then we got to get smarter in terms of our play calling, in terms of where we're sending our feature back. We can't just keep sending them in the brick walls and expecting them to break them down every time. We got to get him out and get him into his strength out there in the flat and let him do some things that we know he's capable of doing. Just like we mentioned last week, and I think we all agree with that point, we don't have a Zeke this year. So then we have to be smarter in what we do. We know that Tony Pollard can catch the football. So, hey, let's get him something out in the flat and let him do some movement out there. Those kind of things that we would. Special teams, we had a solid game special team-wise. So we hit on all cylinders. And if I had to put a caption on all of it, I'll just say that this wasn't our lucky day because we played well enough to win. We just didn't get the breaks that we should have gotten in terms of the play we did.
Go ahead, Debo.
All right, well, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. For the most part, I feel like we showed up. I mean, we showed up. Like I said, those fumbles, we recovered those fumbles. It's a different game. Dak played a clean game. Like I said, we would be in the game if he did. I feel like the referees were, a little blind. Kind of. Well, I ain't gonna go too deep into that, but
they were very selective.
They weren't seeing right. They weren't seeing correctly. So I just feel like all eyes was against us. We play any other team like that, even San Francisco like that. I mean, we come out with a win. So I like what I saw. So I have no complaints. The only big complaint maybe is the offensive line could did a little better pass blocking on certain situations, but I think Dak is starting to get it now in terms of having to move out of the pocket because he's seeing that they only gonna hold but for a couple of seconds. So I think that was the biggest hurdle for us going forward. So I feel like we're gonna be all right.
Yeah, I feel y'all, man. Y'all got some good takes on that, man. Overall, like y'all said, I like the fact that we looked the part. We looked like we belong. Finally, you know what I'm saying? Usually, like in them type of games, we look a little iffy. Dak look a little off. You know what I'm saying? But he was on point. He made adjustments. He adapted. He scrambled. He did everything he needed to do to keep things going. And like I said, it was just those few little plays, those situations, those key moments that made the difference. Everything just happened to swing their way. You know what I'm saying? If we play it all again, it'd be a totally different game. If you actually did the eye test on that game, we pretty much dominated that game for the most part. We had the most eye-catching plays, the most game-breaking plays. We had the most successful runs overall, even though we abandoned it early. We only had 21 rushes overall. I think we should trust the run more. I just want to say that. But for the most part, I think we're figuring out that CD is the thing. He's the truth now. He's the real deal. He is a legit 88 guy. Like, let's feed that. Right. He dropped one pass. Okay, cool. Every receiver drop a pass every game that's getting that type of volume. Right. I would take one drop out of 13 targets. That's cool. He is making dynamic plays out there. So we need to harness that, embrace that, and uplift that, because that is something special. And he's embracing that. If you got that type of talent that's really going hard like that and really striving for greatness, you got to feed that. Yeah. You got to feed it. You got to recognize that, just like you do with Micah. He is duplicating that same thing on the other side of the ball. Mm-hmm. You got to feed that. Right. Just like Mike is a beast, you got to feed that beast. Scheme for CD, just like you've been doing, and continue to do so. Right. Don't give a damn what the defense doing. You got something who can do something. So keep doing that.
But I feel along that same point, Brandon, I feel comfortable with you saying that now with the Dak Prescott we have at quarterback now. Prior to that, last year, I wouldn't have felt comfortable with that statement you just made, because then it means we're forcing the ball to CD. But now he's picking his spots. He's more intelligent about what he's doing in terms of the play of play.
But it's a combination of him and the coaching, though. It's you have to set them up for success together. Don't just keep putting CD in the slot on the left, or in the slot. Period. Move him around. CD can do it all.
But he's getting them when he's available. Prior to that, we were getting in Dak's case because he was trying to force moments that weren't there. That's the difference in what we're talking about.
But that's part of the evolution. That's part of the evolution of a quarterback.
Yeah. I'm gonna be devil's advocate a little bit. I didn't realize everybody was gonna start on this high horse on a loss. So I'm gonna just be real with you now. I'm gonna be real with you. All right, Dak makes some critical throws too. So as much as we're gonna praise him for 374, some of that wasn't luck that we didn't go our way. Dak missed wide open players multiple times throughout the game. So his eye test, what I said last week, his eye-hand coordination and how to make the pass isn't there. I think
he's struggling with the progression of the things. He's he's struggling with progression and reading what the defense is in and knowing what reads to go in the progression.
As far as we know, in terms of play calling, we don't know what the plays are.
I tell you what it is. It's not the fact that he's going through progression. He's going from who he trusts the most first, and then it trickles down. Listen, if you look at the 4th and 8, the tight end was wide open. So he went from who he trusted first, which was CD, locked his eyes in, and then he went down on progression. That's it. That's exactly what happened.
That's a good point. He didn't have a lot of time to make that decision, though.
That's a good point. But no, he's saying his initial thought process before the play even start, where he's like, okay, I'm going here.
He going here.
If it's there, I'm hitting it.
Oh, I'm gonna call y'all both on this.
Go ahead.
You just put Ferguson, who has been getting the ball. Ferguson had the second most targets in the game. So that means your tight end should be trusted. He made all them catches. He only dropped one ball, and he got hit hard on that ball. He lined up against a linebacker. Now, that's a mismatch. So if I'm at pre-snap and I say, all right, I know I got a receiving tight end. I line up against a linebacker. I'm going to watch him release. I'm going to look at CD, and I know CD's in the same direction. And I got my tight end right here.
But you proved my point.
So there goes our problem. Go ahead, Debo.
You proved my point. He's not going through his progressions because you wouldn't notice that pre-snap. He didn't do that.
That's it. Pre-snap.
Right.
Dak is struggling with pre-snap analysis. He cannot analyze pre-snap. That is Dak's problem because we
no way.
Think about it. He does not use the motion a lot. Think about how often do we motion? We don't motion a lot.
I'm gonna have to disagree on that. No way he has the kind of day that he has, and he does what you just said he's doing.
We
no
got
way.
talent. We
Pull
do
those
have
kind of numbers
talent.
out there. It doesn't matter. No way he has that kind of day, and he doing what you guys saying he doing.
Yes, it does.
Ain't no way that happens.
When you have,
no way that happens.
let me
that happens.
let me bust that bubble because
Bust
the
it.
reason why you have to realize this man CD Lamb had 191 yards. What are you talking about? Yes, you are going to have that kind of day. So
But
when
that means he's
so,
finding the right person.
listen, when
That
you
means he's finding the open man.
no, it's not. No, it's not.
Exactly.
He trusts him to be open. So he is open 90.
Y'all can't have it both ways now. You want
Yes,
the man
you
to throw the
can.
ball to CD.
When you have
And
somebody
then-
like CD, yes, you can have it both
All
ways.
right, wait a second now.
Yeah.
So I want him to throw the ball to CD, but defenses have said on critical downs we gonna blanket CD, which means that you gotta think differently. So you look at them critical downs, them 4th and 8, them 3rd and 8, them long drives. Where we got to make the first down.
Right.
CD is blanketed from the top and the bottom. They running over the top because they know we're not gonna run the ball. So they go, we're gonna double up on CD. We may double up on the. We may play.
That's
tight
when you
on the-
motion. That's when you motion him to give him a
I'm not
different
saying
look. You didn't know
I'm not saying
what coverage they're in.
I think he know they in man coverage. I think he know it in man coverage.
They can
Right?
disguise it though. You don't know until you motion
They
somebody.
can, but the man coverage isn't the problem. It's not like Dak's throwing it up on jump balls one-on-one on man coverage. And if he was,
to the gallop.
But
yeah.
listen,
Man, you got Gallup on the brain, man. Get him off. Go change his jersey.
Hey,
or
I'll
something,
wait
man.
for it.
You
Wait
got
for a
Gallup
goddamn
all up in
alley-oop.
your brain, man. Come on.
but
Wait for
listen,
a
yeah.
jersey or something. Put something else on.
I get
Go
what
ahead,
you
go ahead.
I get what you're saying in terms of disguises and this and that. But I'm telling you, you're proving my point because the fact that he locked his eyes in so long on CD, hoping he came open. Now the time to go to Ferguson, it was too late. And then guess what? We had to go to Jalen Tolbert. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Tolbert was
Jordan number 88 sitting up in the left corner. That's what he
first.
wants him to do. That's what Brandon wants him to do.
He
According
went
to
through-
him.
No, he went through who he trusted first. He locked his eyes in too long. Ferguson probably wasn't open at long enough. And then now you had to go to Jalen Tolbert.
Ferguson was
that
open. And on that particular play, Ferguson
That's
was
one play,
open
though.
immediately.
That's one
he
play.
was.
That was a-
not
but
judge
that was
that
a-
man's performance by that one play. He
That's
missed
a-
that. That
wait,
was a
wait.
wide open look. That
All right,
guy, he
so-
missed that.
He missed
He
that.
did.
So let me say that we can be money back, quarterback, and all that kind of stuff. Talking about missing one play, but when I look at those guys that win the Super Bowl, they don't miss that one play.
Right.
That's the difference between Super Bowl caliber quarterbacks and playoff caliber quarterbacks.
Correct.
They don't miss that one play.
Can you
They go,
attribute that? Can you attribute that loss to that one play, or if you want to look at the flip side, when number 11, Michael Parsons caused that fumble, and then he fell on it and didn't even know it was back there. Can you not look at that as a lost opportunity?
That ball went through a lot of hands.
It was a
Right,
misplay.
listen.
It was a
Yeah.
misplay at the end of the day.
No. What I'm saying is a Super Bowl quarterback doesn't miss that type of play.
Negative. That's
so
negative.
let me ask you
Everybody
this.
misses those kind of plays.
So
Nobody.
he not only missed that play, he had Brandon Cooks in the end zone wide open on another play. Now we can talk about whether or not somebody had the right rub or not.
Somebody's
Brandon Cooks
always
was
open that a quarterback doesn't see. A quarterback cannot see everything all the time. Come on, now.
I agree with you.
Let's be
But if
realistic.
it's
There's
me,
going to always be somebody somewhere on the field because of the amount of time they have. They have
For
a
sure.
small window to be able to make
Right.
a decision and get rid of the ball.
but
Dak
but
did a great
on
job
both-
of getting rid of the ball on Sunday. Yes, he
Yeah.
did miss some opportunities, but that's no different than
But
Mahomes
let me say
or
this.
Allen or any of those other guys. They're going to miss plays. It's going to happen.
I
We
don't want
talk
to
about it all the
crucify
time.
him because
That's
he
what
missed
we
those
say all the
plays.
time.
I don't
Go
want to
ahead.
crucify him because he missed the play. I want to crucify him because he missed the play and he threw it to the scrubs. If I look at he missed the play, he threw it to Schoolmaker. He missed the play, he threw it to Tolbert. Now, if he would have said,
Now,
I missed the
now,
play,
now,
and I-
Man,
if that
good.
player
That's
had
good.
caught
I ain't
that
think
ball,
about it like
would you
that.
still
I
be
ain't think
angry?
about it like that.
If
Huh?
that player, if
I
that
ain't think about it
player
like that.
had caught that ball, would you be having this conversation?
maybe not.
No, because
Woulda, coulda,
he's
shoulda.
a wide
The
receiver.
game is over.
He's a wide receiver in the NFL that gets a salary just like every other wide receiver who has a job to do. He just didn't make that play.
I say this. At the end of the day, I know my veterans, I'm going to trust my veterans on critical downs. And if I got two veterans, and I call CD a veteran, I got CD.
He is a veteran at this point.
I got CD and Cooks. Now, Gallup is a veteran that probably wasn't even on the field at that point in time. But CD and Cooks is who I'm trusting. And I got the biggest target, the biggest body in my tight end. So size-wise, my tight end. Trust-wise, hands-wise, proven over time-wise, is Cooks and CD. I'm not throwing the ball to Tolbert on fourth down. Now, that's me.
Wide ass open.
Unless he's wide open. I'm not going to throw a contested ball against him. Now, the same thing goes against Schoonmaker. Now, that play was for Schoonmaker. But if that was Ferguson, Ferguson ain't dropping to his knees. Ferguson bulldozing over, and that's my opinion.
Maybe we don't know. He ain't been in that situation. He's young too.
We don't know
Ferguson
that.
Young too.
You don't know that. He young. Hey, he
He
knew
cute
Fergie. I mean, he ain't like he been there for 10 years catching balls like Jason Witten. Come on,
he's a youth. He's a youth too.
He's used to.
So you're picking at that point. You're picking your poison, Matt. You're picking your poison.
But I feel you though. It is a level of trust thing where it is a
ain't all the same.
Pecking order.
But let me think about it. At this point, after CeeDee Lamb, you're going with the best of the rest. That's how you're making your decision. If y'all want to do it in terms of him selecting the order of who he's going to pass the ball to. After CeeDee Lamb, he's going with the best of the rest. Who's to say that the tight end makes that play any more than Schoonmaker or the guy that missed the ball?
Go ahead.
So that would have been my first choice.
Right, Debo got to say politician. Get Debo a little spill.
No, I'm going. Y'all go.
I thought you had something. You had waved your finger earlier.
Yeah,
I seen that. I was he had the tumble out. He had the tumble.
Because everything y'all saying is proving my point. He goes from who he trusts and it trickles down. So it's like I don't even think to be honest, I think Brandon Cooks is on the bottom because he don't go to him at all.
Bro,
so
apparently he has not seen Brandon Cooks' highlight tapes before he got to the damn Dallas.
It don't matter. It's all about personal feelings. So therefore, he personally probably only trusts him on, I guess, maybe 3 or 4.
Has Cooks dropped the pass yet?
I'm just telling you.
He practices with him every week. So if you don't have a level of trust by now,
that's just that exactly. We get the highlights of it. You ain't there.
We can't go on Brandon Cooks. We can't go on Brandon Cooks.
I've been a fan of Brandon Cooks for a long time.
I'm sorry, Brandon. I'll cut you off. Go ahead. Say what you're saying.
I've been a fan of Brandon Cooks for a long time, bro. He is legit. He's been playing with some trash ass quarterbacks, and this dude getting like 1,200 yards, 1,100 yards on the whim and missing like 2-3 games.
To us.
He like that.
To
Understand me now. This is every year.
To us.
Hey,
you ain't the quarterback.
But what's that saying?
You don't wear
what have you done for me lately?
Listen,
that was Cowboys now.
Listen,
every time you go to him, he come through.
Y'all don't wear number 4 on the back of y'all jersey. To y'all, Brandon Cooks is that guy.
But he's proven to him, bro. To my recollection, he has not dropped a pass yet.
But the other question is he getting open? We don't see that because he's most not the camera.
Well, he does. He's wide ass open.
Is he getting open?
It's crazy.
We did see that. Yeah, we did see that. Brandon Cooks was open multiple times last year.
No, I saw him all 22. We seen it.
I don't think
Debo, you may be on to something. I can't disagree with you. But what I'm saying is, if that's where Dak's MO is that he can't assess that talent. He can't assess the situation to make the right throw. That puts Dak at a lower level, in my opinion, not at a higher level.
There are too many other factors that go into that.
Brandon Cooks. If he
ever too many other factors,
we might just win the Super Bowl easily.
There's too many other factors that go into that decision that none of us on this broadcast can really put a finger on. There are a lot of other factors that come into that play. Is he open?
Yeah.
Is he available? Is he able to be seen? What's the rush situation? What is that time limit?
Bro, he's like a
Does he have time to
miniature
make that
Amari
decision?
Cooper who doesn't quit or give up.
Yeah.
Listen,
I'm out of that.
On the Brandon Cooks thing, so we talking about wide receivers. Now we bringing in another new wide receiver. So that's one piece of this. But I still think that there's a bigger problem that we haven't discussed is the offensive line.
Martavius Bennett might be all right, bro.
But to me, in my opinion, if you bring in Martavius Bryant up in here, we might as well bring Dez back.
Bro, no. Martavius Bryant is different, bro. Before he left, that dude was killing. Bro, if this dude 6'4", like 210,
when last time he played?
4'4".
When last time he played?
He been playing. He was in like the CFL and something else too, bro. He been playing. He been active.
Oh, he played in the backyard. He played in the backyard. Somebody's backyard.
Bro, I don't give a damn about none of that, bro.
He's been active. Backyard.
He's been in competitive football.
Hey,
he ain't like that.
It's just a Will McClay play. This is
Hey,
a Will McClay play.
Listen,
this got Will McClay written all over it.
Go ahead, politician.
B, let me back you up on that. All right, first he came from Clemson, so I've seen a lot of this boy.
True.
This boy was bad.
I already know what that was coming from.
Thank you. I ain't even realize the three alley-oops.
I already knew that Clemson was coming up in there. Come on, man.
Now, let's put that in the parking lot. When he played in Pittsburgh, he was a threat. He was a big time threat.
He was a bad boy. I remember that.
They didn't even realize what they had.
No, they didn't realize what they had. And I think the last thing I'd say is I do have some level of trust when we bring players that have played in CFL, arena football, soccer. I look at Aubrey as our kicker, broken NFL records playing soccer or whatever he was doing before. I look at Kavontae Turpin. I go, they got a good track record with bringing folks from some random places and having talent. So let me trust that. Let me trust that a little bit and say, let's see what the product is. He ain't gonna make he's not gonna be on the field until 3 to 4 weeks, best case scenario.
Damn,
have his ass ready for that damn play. I want him in January. He ain't got to play until January.
Hey, listen. We can't bring Dez back because we got CD, and the 88 only gets worn once. So
Dez in season. Dez chilling, enjoying that money.
Have to wear 77 or 89 or 99. Bring Dez back. Let him wear 89.
Wide receiver room.
Bring Dez back.
In the room down the depth chart.
I got a question for you all though. I have a question for you all. Why now?
Oh, I know why now.
Yeah,
I already know you going with that. I already know you going with that.
That's the exact reaction I wanted. Thank you.
Yeah. No. Hey, Debo. Let me hear Dad's response to this.
I'm gonna hear that first.
You think why, Dad? You.
I know what y'all want me to say. Y'all want to say
no. I want you to say what you want to say from your heart, from your soul.
Y'all want me to say it's because Gallup ain't doing shit.
No.
I'll be the first to admit.
It's people in between in the depth chart. More people.
No, but y'all speaking specifically with one person in mind because y'all throw the same hated the man every week. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave the Gallup thing alone henceforth and forevermore. Yes, he missed a crucial ball in this past game. Yes, he has missed some passes. But I will stand on here until the end of time and say that I guarantee you at some point during this season, he'll become a valuable factor in our team. I'll stand on that. And you can remember I said that. Keep this recording. Has he done it so far? No.
Hey,
I'll be the first to admit he has not been productive. But I believe at some point in time, this man will come into play and make some big plays for us.
Yeah. Let me back you up a little bit on Gallup. And I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm gonna do it. Gallup had, to my recollection, the plays that mean something to me with Gallup. He had one absolutely ridiculously bad drop.
Yes.
Then he had two really, really tight window catches on the critical drive.
He's been known for in years past.
So let me agree with you on that. And I think one of the big things that I saw from him that shout out to Dak in that case, but
Putting it in there, putting it in the gut.
Boy.
So one of the things that I thought was very important that Gallup did, because he could be a head case and give up on plays. That long ball where he was like, "I'm gonna fight back for this ball that was underthrown on the street on the route." That's passion, that's talent, that's knowing where you are on the field. And I got to give props where props due. A lot of wide receivers let that go. They just like, oh, it's short, I'm out of the way.
But that's the Gallup that we've been used to in the past, prior to injury. Let's be fair.
Shout out to that for the underthrown ball.
Yeah. So at the end of the day,
can we need some salt out of this?
So he's got talent.
Hell on that ball.
You're not going to keep all those wide receivers on your game day active. So who gets benched?
I guess we'll find out. Maybe the one that missed that pass that Dak threw that he should have thrown to Ferguson.
Yes. In my opinion, I think it's between Culver and Gallup. And the other reason I think they got Bryant is not just because of what happened this game. He also just got off the suspended list. So he got off Goodell's shit list. And so
I read up on that.
He wasn't available. He wasn't even available.
I forgot all about it. It been what, 5 years almost?
Something like that. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, he ain't played
so he wasn't available to get, and maybe the Cowboys had an inside track that says, we know he's coming off the list, and we've already had this conversation.
They was setting it up. They probably set
it up already. So I'm gonna give that credit to the front office. Let me say this again. One of the big things I just complained about last week, and we had this conversation talking about how tall our wide receivers are. We were talking about 6'1", 6'2", and this, that, and the other. You go put a 6'4" quarterback, a 6'4" wide receiver out there, and that throws the ball high a lot. I guarantee you in the red zone, you don't have to even throw a play. All right, Bryant, just run the fade. I'm throwing it up, you go get it. There ain't a whole lot of practicing you need for that. That's the same reason the Eagles picked up Julio Jones. It's for those situations. Julio's not serviceable beyond those situations on the goal line. And so, in my opinion, you put Martavius Bryant on the goal line, but now I don't have to put Cooks short behind out there, which I do like Cooks. He's still short in tight windows. So I got some height to go with Ferguson and Schoolmaker, and CD can jump out of the building if he needs to. So I think that's a better goal line passing game when you put those individuals on the field. And I think those are the reasons why you go out and get Bryant, where you didn't go get somebody else, or you didn't get somebody. That's just my theory. I don't know, but that's my theory.
What's up?
You know what? As you kept putting emphasis on short, Dak don't like short receivers, or maybe the running back. Probably to why we don't play Deuce. I think that's why Deuce don't dress out, and then you go get a 6'4",
6'1" or better.
You go get a 6'4" receiver.
6'1" or better.
So I'm
Dak
saying,
throws the ball high. Look at his passing.
You might be on to something with that. Yeah, you're right.
I hope you're right.
I think that's what it is.
I hope Brian has success. I hope he comes on the team,
bro. If Brian
another level.
If Martavius Bryant can come back, he's 31 now. If he can come back, because that's prime. It's still prime time.
That's still prime.
With no miles. With 5 years of no miles.
Fact. No NFL miles. NFL miles are different from any other league.
Right. That's right.
So if that boy, and they signed him real quick, so apparently he is legit. So if he come in, man, I don't care about even the next 3-4 weeks. If that boy can be ready and be a real impact player for us going into the stretch, going from December into January,
right?
That can make a whole world of difference, especially for Dak, if he can trust him.
Yes. Again, it still isn't what we absolutely needed. It's a bonus, but what we needed was a running back.
I feel that still was high on the list. We still needed another legit playmaker, and I think that we adding him now, I think we'll be able to repurpose Brandon Cooks now and actually use him in a more consistent basis.
But to address go ahead, Matt.
I was gonna say, to me, Brandon Cooks still isn't my number two. Turpin is my number two because I know I can trust him. The boy is fast.
Cooks is too though. Cooks got it, man. Cooks he got that yak. He can. I mean,
I'm not trusting
Turpin. They're almost the same.
I'm not trusting
Cooks is a little bit more explosive, like first girth wise.
Yeah, I'm not trusting Turpin over Cooks. Cooks is proven.
No. Get me wrong. Turpin is legit.
He's playing. He's saying,
but
I'm a wide receiver.
I'm not taking him over Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks is proven.
They almost like the same, like for real.
Negative. Not
I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Turpin is special.
NFL experience. No, that's not even close.
Turpin is special too.
Yeah, Turpin is special, and I'd say that the reason why I keep going back to Turpin being so special because Cooks is very surgical in his route running. And you can't deny that. That's
and his run after catch. His run after catch is dynamic.
If he gets 2 yards on you, you can forget Cooks is not going to get touched. But likewise, if Turpin gets 2 yards on you, you're never catching him, and he's faster than Cooks. So I do like I like Turpin coming out the backfield. I don't think Cooks has got that explosiveness, that quickness to come out the backfield like Turpin does.
No. Cooks has that. He has the quickness and the speed. He just doesn't have that extra gear that Turpin has. But the difference is he can break tackles. He actually can break tackles.
Turpin's not breaking tackles.
We don't give him a chance to.
And I don't trust Turpin's hands like I do Cook's hands because they're not.
You're only saying that because the couple of bobbles he's had on the punt return. That's just become not testing ball often.
I'm not
he's
saying
never had no fumble problems in his whole career. He didn't fumble at all in the XFL.
What I'm saying has nothing to do with his punt return ability. What I'm saying is that we haven't seen enough film on him catching the ball in gameplay. So I'm gonna
go back to something because I thought I heard defend the fact that ball should have went to Tolbert. You just proved my point. That ball should have never even been looked at Tolbert because he don't have no game tape compared to Turpin. Turpin got way more game tape, way more catches, way more opportunities.
I thought we were talking about the play between where Ferguson was open as opposed to Dak throwing that ball to the sideline.
We were. But what I'm saying is we're talking about, do we trust a veteran over anybody else? So if that's the case, Tolbert got to be at the bottom of the totem pole. That's not the one you should be going to if he's the very bottom of trust.
No, he's last resort. He's like when you scramble around or whatever, and he happen to break loose and you throw it to him. That's that type of situation.
But again, are we talking Ferguson and Tolbert on the sideline? Because they both in the same boat, basically in terms of experience.
But one guy big size and one can body a linebacker and body out somebody. Remember, that was a stop and go. You got to body somebody on a stop and go or a comeback.
If that pass about 2 inches lower, I bet you say it was a caught pass. It wasn't an overthrown ball. If that pass a couple of inches lower, like Brandon just alluded to, he likes to throw the ball high. That just wasn't the play that he needed to be throwing one high to. I venture to say that I feel that confident that ball would have been caught if it was 2 inches lower. Then we're not having this conversation.
So
probably not.
With that being said,
because we're not going to talk. I'm sorry, Dad, real quick. Because we're not going to talk about that second receiver that was open if the play was made first time. We're not going to talk about that. That's not going to be discussed. Only reason that play was discussed is because that play was not made, and that one was open. But then, how many times that happened during the course of a game? It happens a lot. It happens to all NFL quarterbacks. It's just a fact of the game. You're going to see some. You're not going to see some. You're going to make some plays. You're not going to make some plays. It's just football.
And so, Devin, you got something to say, but I wanted to pivot a little bit on something. So go ahead.
I was going to say, with that being said, do y'all think that's why we don't throw it to Cook?
I don't think so.
He likes throwing the ball high.
I don't know why we don't throw it to Cooks. I can't answer that. I don't know.
I think that's what it is.
I think that's a contributing factor. I think it's a contributing factor to why he doesn't get the ball. But also,
he throwing high to him too, and he still caught it.
Yeah, that's true.
How tall is Brandon Cook? How tall is Brandon Cook?
5'9".
That's a short receiver by a lot of
people. He's explosive, man. He plays bigger than what he is. He's like a Steven Smith.
Yeah, he plays
but
bigger than what he is.
But your quarterback has to get a comfort level with you in terms of being able to make those plays. I just don't think they've had that. I don't think they're there yet. I think they'll be there before the end of the year. I think they'll be there within the next couple games. They're just not there yet.
I mean, his involvement has picked up over time, man. And I hope it can continue to trend on that track. But
we haven't seen all of Brandon Cooks yet. Trust me.
Nah, but I mean, we don't. But again, we don't know what the underlying reason why they brought in Martavius Bryant either. But that's neither here nor there. We'll see in the future. But let's pivot to the future and think about this Week 10 matchup with the Giants. We ain't lost to them in a minute. I think I got it.
Don't look like it's happening now.
The Dallas Cowboys have won 12 of the last 13 contests against the New York Giants football team, including 5 straight.
But we own Philadelphia too, so
Well,
I'm not putting those teams on the same level. But I'm just saying this is the NFL. Anything can happen.
Now we played Philly like we could have, like we wanted. We knew we could beat them in Philly.
That was a coin flip game.
That was a coin flip game.
I agree.
If
that nobody gave us a chance in. Very few people picked us in that game.
Now Hurts was off the field, and whoever Hurts backup was also off the field, it wouldn't even be a question we would be dominating this game. And this is what we're talking about with the Giants on steroids. And this game is in Dallas.
But only half of Hurts was on that field though.
No, I think
that's a knock against us here.
No, I don't think it was half of Hurts.
Only half of Hurts was on that field.
Nah, he ain't hurt like that.
That wasn't all of Hurts.
Nah, he not hurt like that.
He gonna be hurt like that the rest of the season or worse.
He not hurt like that though. He not hurt.
He ain't getting healthy.
He don't get no better.
They got a bye. They do got a bye still left. But
the 1 week ain't gonna fix that.
Yeah. So for the Giants game, like, where do we fail? We got a better defense, better offense, better coach, better special teams. If we don't beat them 40-0 again, then there's a problem.
They might wait the clock out.
At the end of the game, I expect Cooper to be in the game. I expect Cooper to be the quarterback the entirety of the fourth quarter, or it's almost a failure in my opinion.
They need to activate Trey Lance. I want to see something.
Trey Lance would be a good activation this week. And I would. Now I'm not gonna go as far as sitting my lineman.
Hey, boy, don't do that.
Wait, I ain't gonna go as far as sitting my lineman because we saw what happened in Arizona when we sat all the linemen down, thinking that the team was a scrub.
Exactly.
You can sit Tyron at that.
No, don't talk about it. Don't even bring
it. Wait. Let's not talk about it. No, we can sit
Tyron had a good game.
We can sit Terrence Steele down. That's what we need to sit down.
He's not 100%.
Tyron had a great game, still had a trash ass game.
Hey, let me say this.
Steele needs to play. He needs practice.
Let me say this.
He needs
as many reps as he can get. Go ahead,
let me say this. Yeah, let me say this with Steele. If y'all gave Gallup that excuse with ACL, then you got to give him an excuse with ACL because he's actually moving around with more weight. You know what I mean, on that ACL versus Gallup. So if you're gonna give him that excuse, you gotta give him that excuse also.
I don't think but one person on this talk is giving Gallup that excuse. So I ain't giving Steele that excuse.
Nah, people was giving him that excuse.
Whom?
People was giving him that excuse. I'm just saying. People was giving him that excuse. I'm just saying. So somebody who's carrying 300 pounds on the ACL, then you got to give him some slack too.
No, I think it's equal, right? I mean, we expect Gallup to make explosive cuts.
But Gallup not to get your quarterback killed.
And truthfully, it's coaching. It's coaching too because
why are you not chipping Reddick? Why are you not chipping Reddick against Steele? Baffles me. That's where we fail.
It's evident he killed him.
But not only that, you can move people around. Like, still don't have to be he don't have to be at the left tackle. I mean, right tackle. He doesn't. You can move people around. You got Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith even on the outside. He's a younger guy.
You can't change the game plan in the middle of the goddamn game.
Not in the middle of the game, but you've been noticed what game we on. What week we on? So you
say
saying
he ain't? This is the word. His only bad performance he had.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
On this level.
No, it is not.
It is his worst performance. It is for sure his worst performance. But
This
also, he also hasn't played against another DE, a defensive end like Reddick. You think about pressures. Who's number one in pressures?
Michael
Parsons. Who's number two in pressures? Reddick, right?
Reddick.
Is it Reddick?
Now, yeah.
Now it is.
Yeah.
So because he pressured Dak on almost every play.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah.
So I
didn't talk about impact.
What was on Dylan? What's his name? Georgia. What's his boy?
But that's pretty good though for Terrence Steele.
You talking about they didn't show up. You put Tyler Smith and we put Martin in the middle. UGA can't show up in the middle.
They didn't.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you though. You had the we way past seeing certain stuff, but see the thing is, y'all didn't pay attention to this with Terrence Steele is because we was winning those games. Now you only focusing in on it right now because we lost. Now Terrence Steele.
We talking about the LA game.
No, LA game. He wasn't that good in LA either, Devin.
Yeah, he brought it up.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Terrence Steele's been playing like this. He is not 100%. It's the fact that we lost is to why we are focusing in on it now. But he's been playing like this all season. We got less people 100% than we got people 100%. Listen, he also probably is the most. He's probably also the most penalized lineman we have right now. If you go by and look at the numbers, I'm pretty sure he's up there.
Still ain't bad.
It ain't terrible, but he's up there. I'm just telling you, we're only focusing in on him right now because
we're not bad penalty wise this year.
No, and he ain't no closeout Adam.
But when we have a penalty, his name is up there. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, I don't disagree with you, Debo. I think your analysis is pretty spot on in terms of Steele is still injured. I've heard that a couple times. Again, if I'm the coach and I know I got a weak link on that right side, I know Dak's a right-handed quarterback. I know I've got to get a running back out to that side to chip him, or I got to make sure I'm rolling to the side of my strength, which is the side of the Smiths. The Smiths has got the strength. The left side of that line is the strength of that line. And if you're going to roll, you got to roll against that. Now, that doesn't throw well going to his left. But I've got to roll him out because I can't trust Terrence Steele. And the only way I can trust Terrence Steele is go put a tight end to chip the DE in.
Let me tell you,
right out.
So, but we haven't been doing a lot of chipping this year anyway.
But my thing too is look, listen. So this is what I'm saying. To why we haven't been paying attention. You remember when I pointed out the fact that Dak started rolling out, he started moving in the pocket? Which one of your linemen you think made him start doing that? You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? You see it. You see him coming around that corner, so you see him.
Yeah, so we go to that left a lot.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, case in point. That he's gonna learn to start throwing to the left.
Right. I pay attention to it, bro. I'm telling you. That man, he been a liability. He ain't 100%. He not.
He's smart.
I'm telling you, bro. He a liability.
The problem is he's still better than what we got left at the tackle.
Absolutely.
Because the backup we on our third string in the back.
One point I don't want to overlook is the point that Brandon brought up earlier. Penalties. We should be thanking God that we not a heavily penalized offensive line team like we were.
Shout out to McCarthy and that coaching staff.
We were. I don't know what's happened over the course of a year, but we a whole different team in terms of those penalties.
We got rid of those penalty players. We got rid of those.
Not all of them, man.
Connor, yes, Connor, yes.
Okay.
We got rid of them.
Yeah, he was responsible for the Lions chair of those.
It ain't the coaching. We got rid of those players.
Damn, you're right. NDK, Connor's name wasn't called all year last year.
Yes,
I forgot about that.
So you
already know who it was.
He got another job.
So you make a point about the penalties, but I do recall we have still one of the most heavily penalized teams in the NFL.
We are. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
we had a 20 penalty
game now, though. But most of those penalties are defensive now, though. You know, we're lining up offside.
We are getting a lot of offside calls.
We're getting a lot of offside calls.
A glove, though, man. So they call a penalty on a glove.
Man, they cheating on that one.
Yeah,
man. Good. God damn.
That was a cheat.
Yeah, we are the fourth most penalized team. Kansas City, then go Chicago, Green Bay, and Dallas. So we in the top 4 penalized teams. And you think about we the top 4 penalized teams, and we've blown out teams, and those weren't penalized games at all because we were just blowing them out.
Right.
So the games that were critical, we get a lot of penalties. I mean, San Francisco and the Cardinals game, we had 45 penalties combined.
So they cheat for what?
That's a whole other conversation.
Oh, we talk about that on Friday.
Right. That's a whole other conversation.
Yes, wow, bro.
Okay, but getting back to the original conversation that our moderator started up there about this weekend. Yes, on paper and on the field and in everybody's minds, we should blow them out. But I also realize this is NFL and anything can go wrong on any given day. I don't claim victories until I have the victories. Everything is shaped up and out. They have a terrible situation going on there in New York right now. I wouldn't want to be a fan. I wouldn't want to be on their team. Wouldn't want to be a coach. They have a very harsh looking situation. But I've also seen some very bad teams, very good in situations such as those. But I'm not gonna even put a prediction on this week.
I feel like this had the potential of being a game like the Cardinals. Hopefully, it doesn't. It can be now. It's not sweeping on the rug because we had that same looks on your face when we was playing against the Cardinals. So I'm saying it wasn't possible to us because the way we beat up the Giants. So I'm saying teams who had that morale, you got to realize too, these players have to be paid individually. These players have to prove themselves. So we tend to come in, take it lightly, and guess what? Now we the laughing stock. So therefore, you can't take this game lightly. But however, I will give a prediction. So I would say it's still gonna be 31-10. I give them 10 points.
Damn, that's generous of you.
It is very.
Go ahead, politician.
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing to say. Add on to that, the Giants should not score more than 10 points in this game. NFL team or no NFL team, unless we let them get some scrub points at the end of the game. What I suspect will happen to some degree is the Cowboys are going to come out very strong, put up a big lead early on, and from the big lead early on, I think that's what's going to be able to let us ride. And I think we're going to be able to test out that run game for the majority of the game. I think this is a great opportunity for us to pressure test the run game because we should be getting an early lead and keep it moving. And I think the defense is going to be chopping at the blocks because they haven't had a whole lot of sacks recently. They got a couple sacks here and there. They chomping out a 7-sack game. I see OC do whatever his name is, Osa. I see him doing some big things. I see finally number 90, the Tank, getting a couple more sacks. I just feel like the defense has got more to prove this game, which will help us keep things in control. Because believe it or not, they've had a lot of pressures. You look at the Cowboys have been the top team in pressures, but not sacks. So we've got to get home, and I think we've got an opportunity to get home this time. Of course, they would have preferred to play Daniel Jones just because they know his mechanics, they know where he is. But I think from the Cowboys standpoint, Dan Quinn's standpoint, I think it's a statement game. And I think the home field advantage is going to be real because I don't know any Giants fans who even want to go to this game. So it should be full on Dallas. And it's an NFC game. And at the end of the day, we can't afford to lose another game in the NFC East. To be honest with you, at this present time, we've got to run the table in the rest of the NFC East if we want a first seed.
And we really shouldn't lose another game in the NFC East.
We shouldn't. So at the end of the day, we really need to win this game. It is a must-win game for the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion. And because it's a must-win game, because I think they're going to take it serious, because I think they're going to be very much licking their wounds from this last week, and they played a pretty good game, I think we're going to win somewhere 37-10. I'm going to give you 37-10. I'm going to give you 6 more points than Debo gave. But the big thing for me at the end of this game, when this game ends, I'm knocking on wood, hoping we come out of this game healthy, because I know these games like this, these have been one games where it didn't matter, we was gonna win anyway, and something stupid happened. So at the end of the day, I'm just hoping we come out healthy, we come out and play and take this game serious up front, and we'll get that big bounce. I mean, I'm looking at we're gonna have 24 at half. If we have less than 24 by half, I'm gonna be feeling disappointed. So that's just kind of my synopsis. The game should be over theoretically by halftime, and if it's not, then like Debo said, it's a Cardinals game all over again. That's my assessment.
Right.
Agreed. If we're a legitimate contender, we can't afford to have two type of the cardinal blemishes on our resume. This game should be a stat stuffing type game where we are dominating for 3 quarters straight, where the starters are pulled by the 4th quarter. And that should be that. If we're legitimate, that's the type of statement we got to put up. Like, we can't play around. Like, let's don't play with it. Like Matt said, 24 points at halftime. That should be a given. If we're on a mission. If we feel salty, if we feel some type of way about this Eagles game, we got to come out and make the statement like that.
Give us a number.
24 zip. Like that, that's the type of statement I'm talking to say. Like, they're gonna get them little 10 points y'all talking about in the 4th quarter on some humbug stuff. So I think McCarthy need to make that a point to the boys in the locker room, and he come with it, nail it home, hit the boys in the face, wrap this thing up, let the boys rest. Like he said,
can we get a number? Can we get a number?
A number?
Can we get a number?
The number I had in my head was 42-13. Like I said, stat stuff, and I think everybody gonna eat. Defense gonna get a score. Micah need to get about at least 2 sacks this game to get back on pace. We need a couple picks, maybe a fumble somewhere in there. But offensively, I need at least 3 or 4 touchdowns. Like I said, I hope we reestablish the run, work on the run, get that going. Let CD stay on his thing. I need him to get at least 6-7 catches minimum.
Nah, you don't want to hit in this game,
bro. Let him keep going, bro. I don't want nothing, bro.
Those 6-7 catches will be in the 1st quarter.
Right. That's cool. First half, get it out of the way, and then sit his ass down. That's cool.
Hey, look at y'all done made me feel bad now, so I feel like I need to give a number 2.
Go ahead, give me a number, sir.
So I'm gonna go with 38-3. I don't think they'll score a touchdown. I think they'll get a field goal.
And they should, brother. And this point too, I wanted to bring up. Once you trade one of your corner piece players, it's a wrap.
Mm-hmm.
You trade away Leonard Williams, it's a wrap. I wish we would have traded for him. Oh my goodness,
that's true.
He one of the ones that he was probably the last one on their roster.
Yeah,
and they let his ass go, and we could have scooped that up.
Another thing too is like the politician was saying, man, we need to come out this game injury free as much as possible. So them 11 touches you talk about, I don't want to see CD getting them. If we can,
that's what I'm afraid of more than anything else.
Right, I want to get to
cool. Man.
Get some this game that matter.
He built for this.
Nah, we can say the same thing. You got a Justin Jefferson right now who recuperating. You know what I'm saying?
They hold him out for political purposes.
I did want to mention something. I just looked this up, and if I'm not mistaken, Tommy DeVito will be the starting quarterback for the Giants.
Yeah.
Tommy DeVito, I done seen him play. He ain't no scrub.
Who that Danny nephew? Grandson.
Is he short like Danny?
There gotta be a grandson.
He ain't short. He a big boy, and he runs. And what was our biggest problem with Joshua Dobbs? Big boy who runs.
Right, yep.
But he ain't Joshua Dobbs.
He ain't Joshua Dobbs either. So
We
we'll
hope
see.
not. We hope
But-
he ain't Joshua Dobbs.
And that's another thing. I don't knock us too much for that Cardinal game because Dobbs is legit.
Yeah, there's no reason Dobbs has been on 5 teams in one season. This is
At
no
all.
reason.
But you know what's up with that though.
Yeah, there's something else going on with that. That's
We
not our.
know what's up with that.
Right.
Yeah, we do.
It's not a Cowboy problem, so we won't.
Yeah.
That.
So on that damn note, we up out of here, man.
All
I
right.
appreciate y'all.
Salute to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all joining us, man. Like, subscribe.
Matt with the fired up whiskey and everything.
For sure. Join
All
us
right, till
for
next
our
time.
pregame on Saturday, Sunday. We're gonna post that thing sometime then or whatever. But appreciate the politician joining us tonight, man. Appreciate Debo, EJ. Appreciate y'all, Dad.
Yep.
And we'll catch y'all next time.
All right, bro.